Let me move the camera.
It's on the side.
Oh, there you go. Are you happy now?
Well, are you
All
going
right.
to give us introductions?
Hey, everybody. It's Sally.
You're on the wrong
Jimmy.
camera.
What do you
Should
mean
be
on the
back
wrong
again.
camera?
That's okay. You can just do a voiceover later.
Okay, let me start over. Hi, everybody. It's Sally, Jimmy, Barbara, and Laura, and we're here at El Cajon and Pfaff. And if you saw any of my posts, we are going to unbox our new Pfaff Creative Icon. Creative Epic. No,
Creative Icon 3.
Creative. I was right in the first place. Creative Icon 3. Yep. So, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
I'll cut that.
It deserves a drum roll.
Okay. Here is our nice new cloth cover. Roll. Registration cards now have a simple QR code. Scan the QR code, go right to the page, register your machine. A lot easier than typing in www. No, HTTPS. :// Here's our accessory bag. All of our food, all of our goodies. Don't forget your Creative 8. Trust me, you don't want to forget your Creative 8. Okay.
For those who don't know, it is creative.
I'm not going to tell you right. And look at this. Lo and behold, a real full-sized color. Well, yeah, there's color. Color user's guide. Okay. Now on to the good part. Here is our new machine. Right here, the all new Icon 3. What's that?
That's a good size screen.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things, if you've seen the icons in the past, got a little tipsy there.
Well, I haven't had enough to drink yet.
We may have to turn down some of our lights in here one day. It's overpowering our
No.
cameras, I think.
Yeah, it's a really pretty face on it.
Yeah.
So, I believe there has been a movement of some of the buttons here. The needle threader is on the far right.
I can probably.
It is
It's
changed.
switched places.
Yeah, the needle up and down used to be on the far right.
Yeah.
That's so you won't hit the wrong button.
They reversed these two
Yeah.
buttons. Be all. Now,
There we go.
For those of you familiar with Husqvarna Viking machines, what in the world are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to zoom all of you.
I was moving it to where I needed it.
Okay.
Right down here, we have a stop button. So for those of you who are used to on your Husqvarna Viking pushing the stop button to finish the end of a stitch sequence, now there is a stop button. You don't need to rely on using your thread snips to finish the stitch and then cut. You can just push the stop and it will finish the stitch and stop zone. Okay. This. And the desiccant package. It won't fit under the foot. Those of you who aren't familiar with our last few generations of machine, on the Epic 2, the Icon 2, and some of our other machines, I believe, part of the power supply was moved external to the machine. As we're building these bigger power supplies, they have gotten to the point they generate so much heat inside the machine that we need to think about cooling them down. Well, we don't have to worry about that so much anymore because a lot of the heat generating components of the power supply have now been moved externally, like with our laptop. This guy gets real hot, but our laptop doesn't get so hot anymore. Well, neither does our sewing machine now. So most of our power generation is
I
external.
have sound on both. You have sound on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay. Good.
Okay, we'll plug that in for me. And you can go ahead and punch the power button.
I could hear the sound and it sounded like it was coming out of my computer. It was weird. We
Did it turn it on?
Is it pushed on? Is it one of those push things?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I find that it push button. It's a strip.
okay. Guess what? If you have to plug it in, you can't plug it into the plug of one plug and half a plug.
Are you sure you've got it plugged in?
Now I do.
Stop.
Well, might have to press this.
There is no button. Okay. Power on that machine.
Plugs.
Yeah, because I do have a bad one in my strip. I finally put a black X right next to it. Like, don't move it. So it wasn't working. I tried plugging in something that was working like a light. Come on, I'm going, it's bad.
Surprised how people external SSD. It's going to back up my embroidery files. It's going to go on my 2 terabyte SSD. And I thought, ooh, if I lose that thing, I've got over 6 million files on there. If I lose that, start over. Because I'm categorizing and sorting and that
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of stuff. And so I take the 1 terabyte one, I plug it in. And so was bad. I thought the drive was bad.
Oh,
So I plugged in a different drive and it worked just fine.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
music to the ears.
mm.
You want to go through the setup screen?
We can.
Zoom me in a little.
Yep.
It's better for the other camera. Might have more control with that.
With which?
Where's camera one? I mean camera 4. Or we can move the other camera over, but this is working right now.
Okay. Welcome. Go through the easy steps. So we want to speak English on this machine. We can connect to our classroom Wi-Fi. So now we can log into our Creativate account if we want. If you do not have a Creativate account,
I put the
You
link
can-
in the comments.
huh?
I put the link in the comments
For what?
for Creativate.
You can scan the barcode. Let's see, or the QR code. There, my camera recognizes it, or my phone recognizes it. And right there's Creativate, so that I can say reject all cookies. And there I'm in at the Creativate website. Creativate's kind of neat in this aspect because regardless of what Pfaff machine you have, if you have a current Pfaff machine, you can log in and your phone will give you your owner's manual and tutorials on how to operate the machine. Right now, I'm going to skip my Creative 8 login. My first name is L. Mahone, and my last name is Soenvac. Find that ampersand here. It's here somewhere. And this is our Creative Icon 3. You can name the machine anything you want. It has different colors. If you don't want your screen to show up in the default colors, you can do other things with it. Now, if you've never had a machine that has a camera or either a camera or a projector before, and that could be a lot of people because there aren't that many machines that have had cameras and projectors so far, but we can fine tune our camera here by looking at the image of what it sees right here on the screen. So if my dotted line's not quite lining up with my needle plate, I select a corner and I can fine tune where that corner lines up on that plate. So I can line my dotted line up perfectly using the corners. Now this doesn't use the corner of the plate, it uses one of the line markings on the plate. It's a little low on the front edge. Go to the back edge, and that looks good on both lines. We'll apply. Now we can fine tune our projector by looking at where our dots are lining up on the plate again. Now, I'm not going to do that because I need my magnifying goggles. I need something more than a pair of reading glasses. My reading glasses aren't strong enough, so we'll set that up later. Now it's asking me if I want to explore my user's guide. I can go in and look, of course, at the user's guide on the machine. We can access the Creative 8 design catalog. It's showing me up here what the icons are going to look like. And instant answers in our quick help guide. So we're going to have a little question mark at the bottom to ask questions. We have several types of gestures on this machine. We have a double tap to load stitches and embroidery designs, or we have a long press on the screen, which will enable other functions to come up. We can also use single tap, use our finger and thumb to scale or zoom, and we can move just by dragging our finger around. Okay, so here we are at the main screen. I'm going to select sewing. Now, I did not review my notes from our meeting in our Global Sewing Summit in Nashville, but I can tell you one of the things that I liked the best on this machine was Stitch Creator. If you are a longtime Pfaff owner, you know in the early days you started out with a little box that plugged into the end of your machine. I believe, I know the 1475 did it. You had a little multi-pin connector down on that end of your machine, down below the free arm. And that's where your little box plugged in, and you could create your own stitches on the machine and save them. Now, over the years, that's gotten a lot easier to use, so you've been able to program stitches on the screen. But now, we've gotten one more thing that we can do. I'm going to tell this, I want to create a maxi stitch. Now, our grid has gone full width, and I can create a stitch up to, is it 48 millimeters wide?
Yep.
So you all know that our stitches will extend beyond the edge of the foot because our machines have side motion. But now, if we want to create specialized stitches, we don't have to program the stitch using points on the screen. We can actually draw the stitch. I'm sure it will. I'm panning. I think I need, no, now I'm panning. Okay. Well, I was so busy watching it that I don't know how to use it. Let me try this. Okay, there we go. Let's delete everything. Okay, one of the really neat features on this machine is we have a back button. So we can undo anything that we've done. So now I'm back at my point. I forget how much, I think I was in a class where they said how many steps we could back up. I don't remember how many it is, but you've got a back button now. So we don't have to select something and delete. Okay. So now I'm going to start my stitch in the middle of the screen. And I'm going to draw a stitch. Now I can just as easily do this. Let's see if I can continue it on. Yep, I can just continue it on. I don't have to use a stylus. I can use my finger. Okay, there's my stitch.
But you do really want to stop it in the center.
Oh, that's right. You want to stop it near the center of the screen because you want it to start and stop at on the same center line. Oops. Okay. There. I stopped it in the center. Now, we click the check mark. Please note this stitch will be adjusted for side motion. Okay. And there's my stitch. Can you zoom in just a little bit, honey? It's not quite.
Possibly.
Wrong camera. It's the little one. Hidden with this one.
No, I have it on the big one.
We're all the way over here. Oh, we may not be able to zoom in.
Then I'll go back to 3. Let's see.
The light's not.
Well, she's got to get zoomed in so she's not over here.
There you go.
I've got to let it go.
It's got a good focus on me in
Yeah.
the reflection.
Try move back a little bit so you're not in it.
There you go.
There it is.
It did come in.
Yeah.
So there's that stitch that I just drew on the screen, and it's ready to sew. I don't have to program anymore. I can just draw the stitch on the screen and it'll create it.
That's pretty amazing. So you literally could add your signature
Correct. You could.
Yeah.
You
to
could
whatever
do
you're
that.
making.
And
That's
you can rotate it sideways so that you can write it in the proper. You don't have to write it sideways. You can rotate sideways and draw it in the right direction.
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of getting pay grade.
Yeah.
if you come in later, I'll be able to show you how to do that, but
The maximum width was 48.
48
Is there a
millimeters.
maximum length?
No, I don't think so. So many stitches, 100 and some stitches.
So,
But most of our decorative stitches now realize most of the decorative stitches in the machine
Yep,
are
Probably,
only that long, and
yeah,
then they repeat.
it might say it on in that brochure. That
it didn't. How the-
I drew all the way from the top to the bottom of the screen, and it's coming out showing me a stitch length of 16.6.
it might say it in the manual.
Probably.
So is that meters?
millimeter.
Millimeters.
16.6 millimeters is the full width or full length, and then that says I only went 12.8 on the width. It makes big stitches.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to look at the
Different.
embroidery unit.
Sure.
Which camera?
Let's go to camera 4. That's the one up there.
Okay, you need to zoom out a little.
But that one was two.
No.
It's different.
Oh, that's right. You guys moved them around.
Well, I had to change it, and then I having
I
problems
don't
with the
have that
cable.
memorized yet.
Okay, for anyone who is not aware,
So is camera
The-
4?
embroidery
Yeah.
connector is now across the end of the machine.
That's camera 1,
Okay.
camera 3, camera 4.
Okay, so our embroidery unit case is not quite as tall as it used to be because we made it double-sided. So now it's double-sided. Just work with me. So there's a plastic bag on here right now, so that's not something that you need to put back on. It's just being there the first time you unwrap it. Now, this is a really nice thing with our new large embroidery units. This is our shipping device that keeps the arm from moving around while in shipping. To take this off, we just use our hoop release, just like we take a hoop off of the machine. It lifts off. Just like that.
Would you recommend they save that because if they need to
Oh,
bring
yeah.
the embroidery arm in
You
for
put this in there
service?
you put this back on it anytime you put it back in the case.
Okay,
It hooks right in the spot for your extension,
okay.
And then just snaps on
and
there.
then it snaps in just like a hoop, and that holds your arm in place.
Nice.
Okay. But yes, every time you put it back in the case to take it somewhere, you just put that in and it keeps everything nice and straight while it's in transport. There's our embroidery unit. That is all that's on this side of our case, except for this little piece that shows you how to put this little guy shows you how to put your shipping device in.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That way you don't lose it.
Now, when we go to the other side of our case, we unzip this side. You get a big surprise. Here is a space for two of our larger hoops to fit in. They will snap in inside of this outline,
I mean,
and then
well, I'll come down.
that's here and out here.
Nope.
Now, when you take this cover out, and now here are all of our other goodies inside. We have the carrying strap, and our extension table. We have our side wing tables for the front and the back. And we have storage for all of the hoops that come with our machine. We've never had that on our machines before to have room for, well, I take it back. Maybe on some of them we did have room for the standard hoops. But now we have 4 hoop storage slots in here. Our largest hoop is 465 by 220. And then the smallest one that comes with the machine is the 120 by 120. For everyone who has older hoops, we have the hoop adapter. This will allow you to slide this onto the hoop, and then it sets on the new embroidery unit, snaps into place. You can select one of your older hoops, and the machine will know what size it is because you tell it. And of course, we have the little metal clips clipping around the edge to support our stabilizer and fabric. Now, we don't need the metal clips as often anymore because the edges of our hoops have they have a ridge down them now, so they lock together tighter and hold things. Now, this is something I've seen on some of our newer cases that I really like. If you have a caster that gets damaged, you take the caster, snap on a new one.
Yeah, and those swirl, so,
The front ones swirl, the back ones will not.
okay.
The end that has the pull handle is smooth,
Yeah, we have
but the back
steers
end
that
does
way.
not.
That's a nice case.
You're going to get one of those. Okay. Now for our embroidery unit. One of the most important things with this machine is that you have a flat surface. This is an aero cabinet. Do you remember which model? Do you remember which model it is?
Uh,
Does it say in the drawer?
Melbourne
Huh?
or Sydney? It's
It's not important right now. We have one in stock. Now this is an end unit. If you have a hard floor to set it on, this should be sufficient to handle this machine. We're going to be testing it out over the next few days. Oh, now our screen says auto power off in 10 minutes. We're going to cancel that. If you do have your auto power off on, because these machines are sold all over the world, there are requirements now in Europe to do an auto power off so something doesn't just turn on forever. So it's like the UL listing requirements in the UK or in many parts of Europe. It must have an auto shut off feature. The auto shut off can be turned off. So you don't have to allow the machine to shut off, but if it does, it does not automatically shut down in the middle of your embroidery. But if you pause embroidery and walk away, if it goes for a period of time, it will turn off your machine. But it's already saved where it was. So when you turn it back on, it will come back to the same place.
Can you adjust the auto shut off time?
it has different time settings. Let's see. Anything like that personalized, maybe? There. Display and audio. Yes. Your machine will automatically go to auto power off due to inactivity after 1 hour or 20 minutes or never. Those are your options.
Okay.
So if you're more comfortable with an hour, that way, if you get up and go to bed and you don't remember if you turned your machine off or not, if you've got the timer set for an hour, it's going to shut off after an hour no matter what. So that's kind of a neat feature. Um, I've turned things off, and now sometimes I turn them back on because it's no big deal if it turns off.
Yeah.
When you,
Adelaide.
what?
Melbourne, I think.
Melbourne sounds right for this cabinet. Okay. Your extension table. Right now, your machine's set up here for a free arm embroidery. So if you have something like a t-shirt or a tote bag, you can hoop that item in such a way as for the back to go over it. We don't have to turn things inside out anymore. We can put the back side of the t-shirt in underneath, put the hoop in through the neck or attach it through the neck, and we can do an embroidery on the front of a shirt without having to turn it inside out. Half of the shirt goes under the free arm, the other half sitting on top getting embroidered. Now, if we're doing just our standard embroidery, we can put our extension table in. It slides in here. We get it aligned here, and hopefully, yes, it slides right in. And now we have a flatbed, and then for using our larger hoops like this, we have extension tables.
Wings.
They are labeled front and back, so you don't have to guess which way it goes on. And that hooks onto your extension table. This, and it has adjustable feet so that it will fit nice and level. And then you guessed it, this one is labeled rear. It goes on in the same way.
Yeah, Melbourne.
It helps if you snap the leg down so it's loose. Then line it up, and then you can swing the leg out. So now, when we have one of our 465 millimeter hoops on, it's supported in front and in back. Let's switch over to embroidery. Create our embroidery unit.
Oh, that's
This will be
cool.
Are you getting one?
The
Oh, three. Okay.
so
Yeah, I need to get one of
those. You're getting one. It's on the way. Well, it's in the works. Paperwork's in.
Huh?
Okay. Extremely familiar with all of the designs on this machine yet. Because actually, I've never seen it. I've never seen him. I've seen the machine, never seen the designs.
I forget what's on the machine.
Now, this design is currently showing in a 260 by 200 hoop. I'm going to go to my hoop options and I'm going to select my 465 by 260. Button again, and there's the design. Now that was a whatever I said that was
260 by
260 by
No.
200 design.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can see it there now on the screen. That's how much larger the 465 by 200 hoop is. So I could do multiple designs in this hoop. Now the long touch here gives me different options I can do. I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to take this one down here and I'm going to mirror it top to bottom. Take those are outside, but my design is still. Can I stitch that out? Do you think?
Yeah.
As long
Probably,
as
as long as
the
the-
stitches are inside the hoopable area,
Yep.
it will work.
Absolutely. Attach my hoop. To stitch, except I don't have any stabilizer.
Yeah. Or thread on the machine.
Like that.
Red.
Or thread.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need red.
there's a couple of
But,
things missing.
but we should probably wrap.
Hypothetically,
Yeah.
you can see it on the screen. So, anyone has any questions?
Well, and this
Nope.
machine also has the telescopic thread stand.
Well, of course it does.
And it's like
Don't be ridiculous.
needle threader. I mean, it's got a lot of nice features on the top of the machine.
I like
Yeah,
new
it's
stuff.
still good stuff.
I like new stuff.
Okay, some of the new stuff. It has special techniques hoop capability, embroider a specialty technique like felting or bobbin work.
Yeah, so you can turn the hoop over without having to unhoop it.
It has the quick quilt settings with bobbin pickup.
Oh yeah, that's another big thing. You got to say that faster. Those quick settings.
Quick quilt settings with bobbin pickup. So that's when you're doing an embroidery design that is just a continuous line design that you would use for quilting. If you select the quick quilt settings, it will turn off. I know that's hard to say.
It is.
It is
It'll
hard to
turn
say.
The active stitch technology, increase the thread tension to the proper amount for stitching. Turn off the automatic thread cutter and activates the bobbin pickup feature. So it makes a difference when you're embroidering those continuous line quilting designs. They look much better when you activate the quick
It's
quilt
huge.
settings with bobbin pickup.
Yeah.
It's the things we've been doing.
I've been doing that
Doing it
automatically.
manually.
We've been doing it because we know those settings work better for those straight stitch quilt designs
Yeah,
or
right.
triple stitch quilt designs. And we've known for a long time that those work better. So we've been going in and changing those as needed so that it works better. But now with the release of this machine, it's built in.
Well, and a couple other new features on this machine. Now, for the first time, Pfaff also has the sewing advisor that makes adjustments based on the fabric you're using and the technique you're sewing. That's been common with the Viking machines, but Pfaff hasn't had that, and now it does. Also has exact positioning with scaling. So you can get your exact positioning to fit exactly where you
Yeah.
need it in the
Yeah,
boot.
that's huge because sometimes you
Sometimes you just
might need a
nudge.
little tiny bit of it. Huge.
Yeah.
It just it's almost there, and you don't want to unhoop it, and so now it'll just resize it just a little bit smaller,
Right.
and
If
so
you-
it fits perfectly in the
If
hoop.
you've
then.
hooped your fabric in here and you intend to do, this is 465 by 260. If you're doing a 450 by 250 design, say for quilting, and you need to move your fabric to do the next section, when you go in to do your precise positioning, if you're off just a little bit, in the past we've run into conditions where if you do your precise positioning to rotate the design in the hoop just a little bit so it'll stitch out in accordance with the first design or the previous design, the edge of that design might be just outside your hoop. Well, now if it will work to scale that design, say 2% or 3%
or 1%
or 1%,
or a tenth of a percent.
we can bring it down just where we need it to get it to fit within that hoop. So you don't have to take the hoop back off, rehoop your fabric again to get that next pattern to fit.
Or say you're doing something around the bottom of a skirt, and you've been hooping, and you're on the last hoop. You've matched up your one end, and the other end isn't quite fitting in.
You can make
The
it stretch it a little bit.
It'll
or shrink
it a little bit, and
Nice.
and
Plus or
then
minus
it'll
20%, just like scale
Yeah.
always is.
Right.
and then it'll be perfect. So then you can sew it together. It'll match up, and poof!
That's just brilliant.
It's the most awesome thing, I tell you.
Another new feature is that you can select, list the hoops that you currently own in the machine instead of just taking the drop down list of all the hoops.
Oh, that's
available.
nice. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's something we've had on other machines in the past, but it's like a lot of things with machines. As they develop new machines, something goes away, someone doesn't like that it went away. The feature comes back, someone doesn't like that the feature's back.
Then
It
it goes
goes
away
away.
again.
So things fluctuate over
Yeah.
the years.
Okay.
That's how we've ended up with machines that had 2 reverse buttons.
Yeah.
I know about that.
I want it on the right. I want it on the
Reverse
left.
button
I
should
want it
always be on the
right.
left. No, it should always be on the right. Well, then a
Okay,
machine
let's
comes
just
out,
put
we
it
got
on.
one of each. So
Is that because maybe some of them are people?
Because you're right and left-handed, probably.
could be. There are people in the world who say every sewing machine that's built is left-handed. Because originally sewing machines were built with a hand crank on the right hand end of the machine, and you needed your dominant hand to crank the machine. So you were sewing with your left hand.
Yeah.
So there was a guy a few years ago, quite a few years ago, it was before GoFundMe. He was trying, or crowdfunding. He was trying to come up with funding. He was trying to get people to donate so he could build a machine that was reversed with a needle on the right hand end. And
I don't think I could handle that.
I couldn't.
I
No.
couldn't do that because I
No.
trained
I'm so
myself to
used
do
to
that.
Could anybody handle that? I don't think so.
I don't think he
No.
ever. I don't think he ever got any funding for it at all.
Now, for those people that are not familiar with the high-end machines, it also has a projector and optional accessories like the embellishment attachment, which allows you to embroider with ribbons, beads, yarns, etc.
Yeah.
Felting, needle felting.
right?
Yeah.
Needle felting. So, oh, and you can create your own applique in this, like we did in
Right,
one sample.
exactly.
That was a pretty cool exercise.
Oh, and another thing it has the stitch the what am I trying to think? Not applique. Monogram stitch that is up and down. where it'll write the name.
Oh, okay,
Vertically.
you can go
Nice. Instead
vertically.
of going
I remember I
horizontal.
showed you the vertical
Yeah.
where, and then you can make designs with it too.
That's
That way
nice.
too, kind of, because you can play with
Yeah,
the letters that way. But instead of the name being written across, it can be written like vertically on a cup or like that.
That's nice. That's a nice.
That's really
feature.
fun feature.
yeah.
Okay. Let's see what else I have. You already talked about the freedom and the cape size. Now, the largest hoop that this has available for it,
450 by 450.
450 by 450.
I think that's the same as the Viking yacht.
No, I think it's 365 by 450.
Oh, isn't the
Epic 3?
Epic 3 450 by 450?
450 by 450.
Oh, okay, that's new to me. Good to know.
It's a turnable hoop, so you can't
Yeah.
throw the whole 450 at once. It rotates,
Right.
But it's
but
not.
it's big.
It's not the 465. It's 450.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I don't know why. I'm sure there was an engineering reason behind it.
Now this one has 8 embroidery fonts, 920 embroidery designs included in the machine. Can stitch up to 1,000 stitches per minute. Let's see, I was trying to find on the sewing side 870 built-in stitches, 37 needle positions.
And most of those stitches you can go into Stitch Editor and tweak.
Many of them.
Many of
Pretty
them.
cool. Well, the thing I liked was when you
You
got
could
home that
triple stitch
example, you
them.
could triple stitch any stitch now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It's a pretty nice machine.
it is a nice
Great.
machine.
And I just like leaving that front wing up for regular sewing. Well, a lot of people don't like that, but I like having it in the front.
Yeah, I was surprised at the number of people at the meeting who said, "Oh, we need to take this off." Why? If
No,
you
you
want
I like it for sewing.
More
Take
a
what off?
larger table
The-
base.
This.
That.
Oh,
So right now, as this
No,
machine's
no.
setting, it's set for embroidery. I push this button. Well, oh no, I'm in stitch out. I need to go back from stitch out to the customizing screen, and then I can touch sewing. And I've got my custom stitch back up that I drew on the screen, and now I can sew, and I can use all of this as the bed of the machine.
And it's like having a table.
yeah, it's like.
I mean, I don't know why I don't even understand what's wrong with that.
Well, and it's really nice if you're trying to put binding on a quilt.
Yeah.
Because you need that extra
exactly.
space to hold the weight of that quilt. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I know, I don't get it, but a lot of people, no, I hate having that. Tell me, I don't like having that there. I mean, I sew in a cabinet with a flat bed.
At a
I
minimum,
prefer
I
that.
would leave the one in the back. If they don't want the one in the front because they feel they're too far away from the needle, definitely leave the one in the back because you need that extra
Yeah,
table space to balance out whatever you're working on, especially if it's a heavy project. And for the embroidery, I think you need them both.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not going to move the machine that much closer to the front of the table.
No.
Anyway, I don't know. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this opening of the machine. Thank you for watching, those of you who are watching, and those of you who will watch. And we'll see you next week. Please leave us any questions that you might have. Thank you again. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.